Hi YouTube, it's Kathy, and this is the start of a reading vlog. Did I start filming this right after I filmed my video that's actually going up today? Yes, I did. Is my camera battery about to die? Yes, it is. Have I read anything yet? No, I have not. My roommates and I drank 5 bottles of wine last night. There's 3 of us, 5 bottles of wine. It was too much, so I didn't start reading at midnight like I sometimes do. I now have to finish editing today's video and then I get to start reading. So I'm gonna do that, but I figured I should just start the vlog on a tripod because it's probably not gonna be on a tripod again during the vlog. So let's go. Okay, so my video is exported, it's uploading right now, so I'm gonna wait for the captions to be available so I can make sure that I edit them so people can actually understand what I'm saying and not what YouTube thinks I'm saying. While I do a couple of other things that I do every week online, I am going to finally start my first audiobook and my first book of the readathon, and that is going to be Tinderbox. I also downloaded Scribd specifically so I could download a couple of audiobooks for this week because usually I can get whatever audiobooks I want from the library and usually I don't care, but when I'm reading something specific for a specific week and the library doesn't have any audiobooks, I kind of figured I would download it for the free 2-week trial and then get rid of it before I have to start paying for it. So that's what I did. So I'm gonna start listening to this and do some work while I do it. Hi, update. I finally got my video caption and all that stuff. It's like 4:30, so it took a while to do, but it was a longer video than normal, so that makes sense. I also took a little bit of a break from Tinderbox to start reading The Cybernetic Tea Shop, which is pretty adorable so far. I'm liking the vibe of it, so I'm looking forward to finishing it and then going back to Tinderbox probably, or maybe Nimona. I haven't decided yet. Hello, last update of the night, I read Nimona. It was delightful. I've actually read this before, but as the full cast audiobook, which is an absolute delight, but it was nice to actually see the art this time because obviously with a character like a shapeshifter, you kind of want to be able to see that, and you can't really see it if you're listening to the audiobook. So I like that I've done both mediums now. I am also just about to read this poetry collection, and then I'm gonna go to sleep because I'm very tired. Actually had some coffee and feel like I can say sentences that make some semblance of sense, I will give you an update on how things are going for me. As you saw on day 1, I managed to finish 3 things. They were my shortest 3 things. This is a thing I like to do where I feel like I get really ahead by reading as much of the short things as I possibly can because it feels like you've ticked off an entire book, when really it was a novella, a graphic novel, and then a poetry collection that was also very short, so it ticked off a lot of things on the bingo board. I already have a bingo, but obviously we're gonna keep going. My goal for today is to read all of 90s Kids. I'm excited for this. I've read one other thing by this author and I really enjoyed it. I also follow her on YouTube. She makes great content, so I'm gonna get into that. This is basically a lesbian, or at least sapphic, Back to the Future, and that's all I know and that's all I need to know. Hello, it's a little after 4 and I have about 100 pages left to go in 90s Kids, but something really cool just happened that I figured I would show you. So Home Field Advantage by Dahlia Adler is on my TBR because I have an ARC. It comes out tomorrow as I'm talking to you right now, but look what just showed up from the publisher, so I can read it in a hard copy. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Wednesday Books. Hello, it's after 8 o'clock. I should probably update you. I read that entire book. It was really fun. I enjoyed that the 2 girls were from 2 different times, but they went back to the same time and basically ended up hanging out, dodging the government people, trying to get them to go back to their original timelines. It was really fun. I really very much enjoyed it. I also needed to give my eyes a break, so I listened to a little bit of Tinderbox, so I've got about a couple of hours of that left. It is hard to listen to, but it's important to listen to it, so Yeah, I mean, I am a big fan of true crime anyway, so I'm probably taking it a lot more easily than some would. But either way, yeah, it's important, so there's that. I am going to start Dowry of Blood because I just need to start reading something that I'm not going to finish tonight, but I will hope to finish tomorrow and then start another something tomorrow. I think I'm going to be okay with my 10-book TBR. I'm very excited about that. Good morning, it's Tuesday. I've got a little bit of time before I need to work, so I'm going to listen to more Tinderbox while I cross-stitch, because that's the only time this week I'm going to be able to have time for cross-stitching as well as listening to a book. I suppose I should show you what I'm working on. You might be able to tell that this is a book, but this is, in fact, a whole Hunger Games scenario. There we go. When it's done, it'll look a little bit like that. Hello, I finished Tinderbox and did over 200 stitches on my project for cross-stitching. So this book was, as I expected, a little bit difficult to listen to just because of the things that are going to make you want to scream at people, such as years after the event, some survivors went to a museum exhibit that was talking about all the fires that had happened in New Orleans, and even though this fire was the worst in the history of the city, it was not reflected in that museum curation, which is just bonkers. Yeah, there are so many details about this case that will make you very, very upset should you also read this book. But it is important to queer history, so I'm glad that I read it. To eat some fake chicken fingers and also watch John Green's latest video with the actress who is playing Aza and turtle all the way down, and then also get my true crime fix from Stephanie Harlow because I just need to. Made myself some soup because I was still hungry and kind of want to warm up, and I think that now is a good time to start listening to Lake Lore. I got about halfway through Lake Lore and I'm very much enjoying it. I think that this is so far my favorite thing I've ever read by this author, so I'm very much enjoying it. But I feel like I need to also finish A Dowry of Blood today, so I'm going to go downstairs, get in my chair, get all cozy, and try to do that. I'm just waking up. Last night I finished Dowry of Blood. I ended up really enjoying it, and then my roommates and I were having a fire in the backyard, so I read a little bit of The Art of Drag, but then it started sort of raining, so I put my book away and just enjoyed the fire and the attempt at rain and the wine. My goal for today is to finish The Art of Drag, which is just absolutely beautiful, and then I will probably also finish Lake Lore, because I think I only have a couple more hours of that left while I cross-stitch. And then from there I just have 2 more novels left, Home Field Advantage and The Fever King, so I will probably just toss a coin or put a poll up on the internet to figure out which one of those goes first. The Art of Drag is a beautiful primer on the subject, and now I just have so many more things I want to read on the subject, and so many movies I want to watch, and documentaries, and all of those types of things. I have now put up a poll on Instagram asking which of these should be my next read, which will also be the read that I have in the bath today, so I'm looking forward to figuring out what I'm going to read next, but I think I'm going to now listen to Lake Lore, because I want to know how it ends. It's so beautifully written, and because I follow the author online as well, I can see certain things that they've learned about themselves put into these characters. It's just so delightful. To turn the camera on me for obvious reasons, aka I'm about to get into this bath, but I started reading this in the backyard and it's phenomenal. I'm really enjoying it. I'm probably about a third of the way through. I'll probably do another third of the way or so in this bath, but it is excellent. Also, I just wanted to point out this cider I'm drinking is called Second Page. It's from a winery from my hometown called Coastal Black, and they started making cider, and I just loved that it's called Second Page because obviously I love bibliophilic things, so hence why I bought a lot of them. Hello, it's about 2:30 in the afternoon and I haven't updated you at all today. Yesterday, as I predicted, I got about two-thirds of the way through Home Field Advantage, was really enjoying it but had other things to do. And then this morning I finished it and I absolutely loved this book. The characters were great, all the situations were really believable. I just really very much enjoyed it. That means, if you've been keeping score, I only have one space left on the bingo board I haven't hit, as well as just the one book that I'm using to fill it. I will probably also start another audiobook and probably finish it this week because why not be a little bit extra? The weather on the West Coast is hilarious. We looked at the weather forecast and it was like 80% chance of rain for this hour. The next hour was 90, the next hour was 95, the next hour was 100, and it was just 100 for like the next 10 hours. And yeah, that's pretty much what it's been, so I'm going to go start reading Fever King. I've technically started. I read the first 2 pages, which is a personal letter from one character to another, and I have questions, so I have to get into that to find out what is going on. Good morning. You're probably asking yourself, does she wear that robe every day? And the answer is pretty much yeah. It's very comfortable and I work from home, so I can do what I want. Secondly, you're probably wondering how far I got into the Fever King, and the answer is not actually all that far. Let me check. I'm gonna guess it's about 70 pages, just based on where my bookmark is. And that's not because I'm not enjoying it. I am, although there is political world building, which my brain usually has trouble with, so it's gonna be a little bit more of a slower ride to get through it. But last night, instead of just reading, I watched all of Heartstopper, finally, because I hadn't seen it yet, and oh my goodness, the casting was amazing. Like, everybody looked like their comic counterpart. It was amazing. I loved it, and I loved the actors, and I loved the situations, and like, it was just so good. It was just so pure. I loved the cameo we got in the last episode because I had to roll it back. I was like, wait a second. I'm pretty sure I know who's on that train, and I was correct, and it was wonderful. So if, like me, you were putting it off just for no reason, you just hadn't gotten around to it yet, now is the time. It is so cute, and I am so excited it's already been renewed for another season. Hello, I read a couple of chapters of Fever King, and now I'm just really itching to get some cross-stitching done, which means I'm going to switch over to an audiobook. That audiobook is Spin Me Right Round, and I'm very excited this hold came in from the library, especially because I also read 90s Kids this week. Part of the very first paragraph of the book description reads as follows. A sharp and funny YA novel that's Back to the Future with a twist as a gay teen travels back to his parents' era to save a closeted classmate's life. I am so excited for this. And I'm just excited that I get to read 2 things inspired by Back to the Future in the same week, and they're both queer. Did I just sit there for the entirety of that audiobook and absolutely love it didn't even pause it once and did over 1,000 stitches on my current work in progress. Yeah, I did. That was a fantastic audiobook. I absolutely loved that story. And I'm so glad that I got to listen to it in the same week that I got to read 90s Kids. This one is way more focused on the Back to the Future aspect of it, just because like he is at high school with his parents, and it's so good. I loved it so much. Like I literally just finished it. I'm like, I have to update because it's so good. Also, if you've been following along, I finished all the black all the way up this side, and then also have continued the tiny Katniss in the middle of it. So I can't believe I've been working on this since May 23rd, and I still haven't finished all the black, but we're almost there. Hello, it's been a little while since I've been out of the house, so I got a few more pages of Fever King read, and now I'm going to take some library books back to the library, with the exception, obviously, of Fever King, because I haven't finished it yet, but I will return it when my hold for The Electric Heir comes in, because I've already put that on hold. It's time for you to go home, friends. Here's a hold I picked up because I placed it years ago, it feels like, because time means nothing anymore. But I unsuspended the hold because I figured I might not get Nimona in time, and then I just ended up buying Nimona digitally. So here we go, and I'm excited to read this probably next week, because my wrap-up for this week is going to be ridiculous. Is it really one of my vlogs if I don't vlog something in the bathroom? I'm about halfway through the Fever King, very much enjoying it, trying to figure out how it's gonna like end before the sequel. I don't know. We'll find out. I also just took a break to watch this week's episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars, and yeah, it went how I thought it was gonna go, and I'm excited to see who gets extra stars next week. But I'm gonna go sleep and finish this book tomorrow. Good morning. This morning I woke up really craving vegan hash, so I went to the diner and I had it, and it was amazing. And I regret nothing, with the exception of the fact that I couldn't wake Chad up to go with me. I tried, he just wouldn't wake up. I also read some Fever King while I was there, and I'm gonna sit in the backyard because it's finally spring, summery type of weather, and read this. We managed to get some lovely reading time at a local beach, which was great, until we had to come back up the 100 or so stairs to get down to the beach, and I proved I am very out of shape. Holy crap. And with that, I have finished my TBR and 11 books this week. Wow, it's good to know that I can still do it, because my books in past, I don't know, few months have been like 2 to 3 a week, but it's nice to know I can still do it if I try, which is great. Thank you to everyone who participated. If you read one book, that's great. If you read a bunch of books, that's also great. It's the same amount of great. It's basically this challenge. You can do whatever you want with it, and I'm glad that people have figured that out, and I'm really happy when sometimes people do it for the entire month, because why not? Also, read queer all year. You can use this for whenever you want, but it's fun to have a specific week where we're focusing on it all together as a community. This means that I now have to put together this vlog, but then also tomorrow I get to do a weekly entertainment wrap-up, wrapping up all of these books, so that will probably be posted first, just because I do have to post it tomorrow, but either way I'll link these videos to each other, so if you've watched one, you can watch the other, and vice versa. What was your favorite read of the Queerly Readathon? Let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. If you don't feel like leaving a comment but want to make sure that I know you were here, just leave me an emoji or a smiley face if you happen to be on your keyboard. Some people have asked if there's a way to financially support this channel, so I set up a Ko-fi account, which is a digital tipping service. The link for that, as always, is down below. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you very soon. Bye.